Hi everybody, Mark Wallace with Grandbrook Memory Care, and this is the Senior Living Series from the Zionsville Chamber of Commerce. This is the month of February, and it is Make a Difference Month here at the Chamber. And we're going to talk today about making a difference in the lives of our seniors. And with me, my special guest here, Anita Bowen. Introduce yourself.
Good to see you, Mark. Anita Bowen. I'm the Executive Director at Bcssi, Boone County Senior Services, and we have an office in Lebanon and here in Zionsville.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. As I was saying, it is Make a Difference Month, and seniors, especially with being winter time and it's cold, and everybody has cabin fever right now. It's so important to keep our seniors busy and occupied, and keep them safe. So why don't you start by telling a little bit about what Boone Seniors does and what's your role in the community, the Boone County community at large is.
Okay. Well, we've been serving Boone County for about 43 years, so we're no amateurs at this. We like to do it with a three-pronged approach, and that would be through our transportation, which you probably see our buses out and about, and in-home services. That means that we do non-medical care in the home. So say someone has come to Grandbrook and they've been released, they're doing well and they can go back to their home, but maybe they need some meal preparation or somebody to run errands, do some housekeeping for them. We can set up those kind of things through our personal services division, which is licensed by the Indiana State Department of Health. And the third prong would be all of our activities that you're familiar with through our location in Lebanon and in Zionsville. Things like Lunch and Learn and craft classes, book club, and art programs. Really things that are good for the mind, body, and spirit. And we've started to bring some of those things back gradually as we're getting a little bit better with the pandemic situation, but we're not quite there yet to get our groups together in the size that we'd like.
Sure. I know in pre-pandemic, you had a very robust calendar of activities and programs at the center, which is located, your main center is located in Lebanon. Correct.
Crown Point Drive, just adjacent to Witham Hospital, and then a satellite here in Zionsville with the Town Hall. Of course, that's been closed since the Town Hall has been closed, but we've been trying to do some programming through the American Legion, just wherever we can kind of sneak in to make sure that people who feel comfortable getting out have that opportunity. And it's small groups, but that's really okay because we want to keep the group size small anyway, and we hate to turn somebody away. So yeah, I'd say we're probably about a third of the size of what we used to be when you used to come to programs and you guys have sponsored things, and we look forward to getting back to doing more, larger activities, and some of our things like bus trips, for example, which has always been so popular with the people here in Zionsville, are still on hiatus.
Yeah, unfortunately we can't make those trips and do some of those fun things, but what's the response been on some of the smaller group activities that you've been able to re-implement as we start to open back up slowly?
People are very thankful that they have an opportunity to come out and they get to make that choice. So throughout the pandemic, we have been checking in on about 150 older adults, caregivers, people that we felt like we weren't seeing, to make sure that they were doing all right. Check on their mental health, just to continue those relationships. And so we would do that by phone, sending cards and letters, social media, text messages. And once we were able to reopen to programming, we started to invite some of those people to come back, and they got to make that choice. So some of them are still at home, and they're they're not comfortable there, but that's what they've decided to do for a bit longer. But others have been thrilled to get out.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's so good to hear that our seniors are starting to get back out.
I think so. And then like you mentioned, unfortunately with this really difficult weather that hit us this month, that put some of them back home for a different reason. And winter is always challenging, but
it really is. And I think that one thing we've all seen and all learned that, we've all had to be very creative in how we deliver our programs in the past 12 months. Is Boone Seniors doing anything online, or are you offering any virtual type programming at this point in time?
We did some Facebook Lives, some entertainment during the pandemic. Right now we don't have anything planned other than we do have a workshop that we're going to host on Zoom in March, kind of some retirement planning information.
Oh, excellent information.
And that will be coming out, and we'll be sharing that with the Zionsville Chamber. But most of our people really are in-person people. And so we didn't do a lot virtually. We did do some. We did have a small audience for those. And again, we just really tried to stay in touch. Offer to deliver care packages, to deliver groceries, anything that they needed. We wanted to make sure that they had to continue to have their quality of life that was important.
That's so important. So I think that's the important thing that I've learned in the past year is that just staying in touch makes a difference. Being able just to pick up the phone, get a letter or a card in the mail, can make the difference. It can make a senior's day even brighter. And I think that's wonderful that your group has been so active in doing that and keeping the lines of communication open over the last year has been so vital. So I know our seniors have been cooped up, and now with winter, and it's been tough.
It's been tough, yeah, kind of like COVID and then winter on top of it, because last year we had gotten through most of the winter. We had been able to do our programming in January, February, early March, and so now I feel like it's kind of a double whammy with some people still stuck at home because of COVID plus winter. It's really a doubly difficult situation, yeah, and even though we would probably say winter has still been pretty mild, the cold temperatures and the concern for people falling in parking lots. For example, there's sometimes we've just had to cancel our activities in the buildings just because we want to keep people safe, and it's not worth. It's
not worth getting out, and especially with the bitter cold temperatures that we're supposed to get this weekend and this week. It's just not safe.
Exactly.
It's just not a good idea.
Absolutely.
So what's the right now with the limited programming you have? What's the most popular thing you have going on right now?
Well, people are really liking the lunch program that we started doing with the American Legion here in Zionsville. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to eat there, but it's a nice, warm, homey environment. The food is very good, and for some of our older adults, that meal surrounded by the fellowship is such a positive part of their day. And they really need that. And so we've been able to do some lunch and learns there with a program. And this spring we look forward to bringing a craft class, of which Allison here has been involved with some of our crafts before. We're going to start our crafts back up.
Oh, excellent.
And we'll do that following lunch and learn at the Legion. So we're really looking forward to that, kind of just easing into some of the things that we had to put on hiatus. And one of the other things that's incredibly popular and has still been going on some throughout the pandemic is our book club. And what's nice about the book club, of course, you can, still read from home, and we have a free bookshelf that people can pick up books, and there's no charge. They're new books, and they don't have to bring them back. It's supplied through a retired librarian. She has a lot of connections for really nice books. So that has gone on, and we've been able to deliver books. People have stopped in to pick them up. And so I would say that that's another really positive thing that people have enjoyed.
Good. So these lunch and learns, how often do they happen? And they're at the Legion?
Yep.
Okay.
The American Legion right here in Zionsville on Ford Road, and right now they're once a month. So the best way for people to find out about what's going on at BCSSI, if they're not already connected on social media, is to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also to check our website, which is boonseniors.org. And there you can make arrangements to get our newsletter, which is called Senior Sounds, and it comes out every other month. That will keep people updated. And even if you're not an older adult, which for our programming, it's age 60, so, the older you get, that seems young to me.
Yeah.
And our transportation, I want to mention, is for people of all ages. So
that's a good segue, because I think one of the very really cool things that Boone Seniors does is its transportation program. Our residents have utilized it multiple times.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit more about that.
So Boone Area Transit System is sort of a subsidiary of Boone County Senior Services, or Bcssi, and it's housed at our offices at Crown Point Drive, but we also keep at least one van, sometimes multiple vans over here in Zionsville. And it's accessible to people to get to work, to take your children to school, to help you run errands. If you have difficulty getting access to a vehicle or don't have a vehicle right now, it's called demand response transportation. So you just set up an appointment and get on our schedule so that we have you as a part of our arrangements to get you where you need to go. And I would just encourage people to call as much ahead of time as they know. So if you know, that you need to get to work every day, you can call now and make those arrangements. Or if you know that you have a medical appointment coming up, say
call as soon as
March,
call as soon as you make the appointment.
Because they do fill up, and our ability to take people where they need to go is based on the number of drivers that we have, of course. So
and your drivers are volunteers?
They're not. They're
paid. They employees?
They're paid staff. We have about 37 staff members between transportation, the personal in-home services, and then our office administrative.
It's a nice size staff.
It is, and they're all in it for the passion, Mark. I mean, I know you've met a lot of them, and it's just because they love people, just like your team, and they want to make a difference and help people age well. And I haven't met anybody yet that isn't aging, so we're kind of all in this together, really.
We really are.
We really are.
We are all getting older every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you said, 60 doesn't seem so old anymore.
Yeah, you kind of want to push old. I had a lady call this week, and she started talking about activities. She just really wanted to get involved in some things. And then she said, well, what's the age that you need to be? And I said, well, 60. And I had no idea how old she was. And she said, oh, I'm only 53. And I thought, wow, that's kind of close to my age. But it's great that people are thinking about how they might want to age, and that they don't want to do it, you know, in a way that might be really depressing. And so they're looking forward to things that they might get engaged with. In the meantime, I told her about some of the other groups that I knew about. So that's a good point. You know, if somebody has a question just about information and referral in general, that they can give Bcssi a call. And if we can't help, we'll try to make the connections in the community for where they can be served with whatever their needs are.
Excellent. Boone Seniors is such a valuable resource in the community, and you are a connector.
Yes.
And you are all about taking care of people. And you're right, it is all of us in the senior industry. We don't do it for anything. We're passionate about what we do. We do it because we like to help others. So for those who may not, or who may be interested in getting involved, what can we do?
Well, we use hundreds of volunteers every year. In a normal year, we would use about 250, 300 volunteers for all of our different programs, our special events. So if you have any interest in getting involved, give us a call, check us out online, see what might interest you that we might be able to pair your skills and gifts and talents with. We'll definitely find a way to connect you at Bcssi. One of our programs that we adore and are really proud of is our Friendly Visitor program. So we have volunteers that make a commitment to go and check on someone that's living in their home and maybe is not able to get out right now, at least one time a week. And this is something that has gone on for years. It's the Friendly Visitor program at Bcssi. And it's important just to make sure that that person is not becoming depressed, that their isolation, just based on whatever their situation is at this time, doesn't mean that they can't stay connected. So that volunteer, pre-pandemic, was going into the home once a week. During the pandemic, they've been calling, writing letters, doing porch visits, still finding ways to make sure that they maintain that relationship. And so once things reopen completely, we'll probably have an opportunity for more friendly visitors to come on board, and then we match them up with people, kind of like a little matching. We try to find people who have common interests, and we've matched up people who have like an interest in nature, or maybe they shared some type of a job that was similar in their in their past careers, or maybe they have a hobby that they have in common. And so it's kind of fun to put people together that we think will really enjoy each other.
You have to play matchmaker.
We do.
We do.
With
pairing them up. And
we do.
Ultimately, it's making our seniors' lives better.
It's worth it. It's so worth it.
And I'm sure the volunteers get a lot of satisfaction out of that. So, well, Anita, thank you so much for coming and chatting with us today. If anyone wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way?
Best way is we're still answering our phones Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And that best number right now is just to call our Lebanon office at 765-482-5220,
Okay.
or to link up with us online through our social media. You can always send me an email. It's Bowen, my last name is Bowen, at boonseniorsplural.org.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mark. We are looking forward to continuing to serve all the families as we continue to age and do whatever we can. And I might mention that we really like to help caregivers as well. So even if you're not the older adult, but you're caring for someone, as you well know, that can really take a toll.
Being the caregiver definitely is a full-time or more than full-time job, as we all know, and actually that will be a topic of another one of our series.
Great.
We'll be talking about caregiving and caregiver stress. So thank you again. Boone County Senior Services, making a difference every day in the lives of our seniors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.